Let me tell you something. In life, everybody has problems. But here's the truth. The world is not interested in your problems. The world is interested in your results. So don't tell people about your problems. Show them how you solve them. When I started Alibaba, we had nothing. No money, no technology, no experience. And I had every reason to complain. But I knew if I start talking about my problems, people will walk away. Investors won't care. Customers, the world respects strength, not struggles, won't buy. Friends might feel sorry, but pity is not a solution. Everyone wants to be understood. Everyone hopes that when they're struggling, someone will come and say, I feel your pain. But the truth is, the world is not designed to feel sorry for you. It's designed to test you, to pressure you, to see how much you can handle. The world is not a place that gives rewards for suffering. It gives rewards for surviving, for pushing through, for standing up after being knocked down. You must understand this early in life. Nobody owes you anything. Not your friends, not your family, not your teachers, not even your boss. The world is not a charity. It's a battlefield. On a battlefield, sympathy won't save you. Strength will. When I failed my exams, when I was rejected by Harvard 10 times, when I couldn't get a job at KFC, nobody was clapping for me. Nobody said, poor Jack. They moved on. And honestly, that's okay, because I realized something powerful. If the world doesn't offer you sympathy, offer yourself strength. People admire those who rise despite everything. People follow leaders who stand tall, even with bleeding feet. They don't want to hear how hard it was. They want to hear how you made it despite how hard it was. If you can develop that resilience, that inner fire that says, I will find a way even if no one helps me, then the world problems are your personal tuition begins to pay attention. So don't beg for understanding. Earn respect through action. Let your success be your speech. Let your results be your revenge. And remember, strength is silent, but its echo is loud. The world doesn't care how deep the water is. It cares whether you sank or swam. So don't seek sympathy, build strength. That's what the world will never ignore. Would you like me to expand the other 4 keynotes in the same tone as well? You said problems are your personal tuition. Don't waste them. Expend. I am more lengthy without heading chat. GPT said, of course. Here's a long-form, powerful expansion of the keynote. Everyone wants success, but no one wants problems. Everyone prays for the dream, but no one welcomes the difficulty. Yet what most people fail to see is this. Your problems are not punishments. They are tuition. You want to grow. You want to achieve something great. Then life will first test if you're ready. And it tests you with problems. Just like a university charges you money to teach you lessons, life charges you with pain, rejection, failure, and frustration. That's your tuition fee. When I was building Alibaba, we had problem after problem. No funding, no internet speed, no understanding from society. Even our employees had doubts. We could have spent all day complaining, but we didn't. Why? Because I understood. Every problem I solve makes me wiser. Every challenge I face makes me sharper. These are lessons you cannot buy in school. Most people try to escape their problems or avoid them completely. They ask, why is this happening to me? But successful people ask, what is this teaching me? That one question changes everything. Problems are the price you pay to become valuable. If you want to be strong, face what others run from. If you want to be winners, talk vision, not one's irreplaceable. Solve what others complain about. Don't waste your problems by talking about them, posting about them, or blaming others for them. Use them, study them, extract the wisdom from them. Let me tell you something. The most expensive mistake is the one you didn't learn from, because it will come back again and again and again until you finally pay attention to the lesson life is trying to teach. So next time you face a difficulty, don't be angry, don't be sad, be smart, sit with it, understand it, and grow from it. That's how you turn your pain into progress. Remember, problems are your personal tuition. They are not here to stop you. They are here to shape you. Don't waste them, learn from them, and rise. When people sit down to talk, you can tell who is going somewhere and who is stuck. Some people speak endlessly about how life hurt them, how unfair things are, how people betrayed them, how everything went wrong. And while their pain may be real, let me tell you this truth. Pain does not build progress, vision does. If all you talk about is your wounds, you are living in the past. But winners don't live in the past, they build the future. When I meet young entrepreneurs, I don't ask, what happened to you? I ask, what are you building? Because the world doesn't move forward with stories of suffering. It moves forward with people who see possibility beyond pain. When we started Alibaba, we were wounded too. We were ignored, laughed at, rejected. Many of us came from poor backgrounds. But I told my team, we will not build this company on excuses. We will build it on vision, because nobody wants to follow a leader who complains. People follow leaders who see the future and move towards it, no matter how hard the present is. Winners understand silence builds focus, not pity is something important. Your story may begin with wounds, but it must end with a mission. And missions are not built by talking about how you were hurt. They are built by showing people where you are going and why it matters. The most powerful people in the world, think about them. They've all been broken at some point. But they didn't stop to build a monument to their pain. They turned their pain into power and their vision into value. That's what made them unstoppable. So stop telling people how deep your scars are. Show them how far your vision reaches. Use your past as a foundation, not as a prison. If people are going to remember you, let it not be for your wounds, but for your work, your dream, your impact. Winners talk about vision, not wounds. That's why people follow them. That's why history remembers them. When people go through tough times, their first instinct is often to speak, to explain, to vent, to complain. They want the world to know how hard life is, how unfair everything feels. But here's the truth. Talking doesn't fix your problems. Focus does. In my journey, I faced rejection after rejection. 30 job interviews, all rejections. Even KFC didn't hire me. Harvard rejected me 10 times. I could have talked about it endlessly. I could have posted it everywhere. I could have tried to gain sympathy. But I realized early on, sympathy doesn't build companies. Pity doesn't build success. The moment you stop talking and start working in silence, something changes. Your energy is no longer scattered. It becomes concentrated. You stop looking for people to understand you and you start understanding yourself. That is where real strength begins. Silence is misunderstood. People think if you're quiet, you're weak. But no, silence is strength under control. Silence is discipline in action. It means you're too busy growing to stop and explain. You're too focused on the next step to worry about who solve it. Don't sell it watching. When I started Alibaba, we didn't run to the media every time something went wrong. We stayed quiet and kept building. We focused, and while others were talking, we were improving. That's how we survived. That's how we succeeded. You don't need to prove your pain to the world. You don't need to announce your struggle. Let your silence scream through your results. Let your success say what your words cannot. Focus in silence, and when you speak, speak only through the value you've created. Understand this, pity is temporary, but focus creates permanent change. Don't waste your energy trying to be understood. Use it to build something so undeniable that no one can ignore you even if they tried. So the next time life hits you hard, don't shout, don't complain, get quiet, get focused, and get to work. The world may not hear your silence, but they will feel your success. When most people face problems, they run to others not to solve, but to sell their struggle. They explain it over and over. They post it online. They tell their friends, hoping someone will rescue them, fix it for them, or at least feel sorry enough to comfort them. But let me tell you something important. The world is not a customer for your excuses. It is a market for your solutions. Every time you try to sell your problems to others, you're losing power. You're putting your destiny in someone else's hands. You're asking others to carry what was meant to shape you. And in doing so, you're outsourcing your growth. When I faced rejection, I didn't sit around explaining it to the world. When no investor believed in Alibaba, we didn't try to sell the story of our pain. We tried to solve the problem in front of us. We asked, what can we do with what we have? How can we be valuable even when nobody believes in us? You see, success doesn't come from convincing others that your problem is big. It comes from proving that your will is bigger. And the only way to prove that is not through words but through action. Quiet, focused, disciplined, your results will speak louder than you ever could action. Think like this. If you're always selling your struggle, you become known for the problem. But if you're busy solving it, you become known for the solution. And people pay for solutions, not complaints. This is what separates the average from the great. Average people talk about why something can't be done. Great people figure out how to do it anyway. They stay up late. They try 10, 20, 100 times. They make mistakes, but they keep solving. And in the end, they don't need to explain anything because their results speak louder than any excuse ever could. No one will build your dream for you. No one will carry your burdens forever. And no one owes you understanding. So stop trying to sell your pain. It's not a product. Solve it, own it, and rise because of it. That's how you gain power. That's how you earn respect. And remember, solvers rise, sellers fall. So don't try to convince the world why you're stuck. Convince yourself that you're not staying there. I always tell young people, don't waste time crying. Final words, let your success be the reply. Cry alone if you must. But when you walk outside, smile, fight, and keep going. Nobody believed in me when I started, but I didn't spend time explaining my struggles. I spent time creating solutions. And that's how you win. So remember, light bulb, don't tell people about your problems. Show them your results.